up, everybody? It's your boy Cmoney back with another video, and today we gotta talk about Monday Night Raw. Last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, the April 6th, 2026 episode of Monday Night Raw. But we also have to talk about WrestleMania 42. The match card is confirmed. WrestleMania 42 match card has been confirmed. The Saturday matches, the Sunday matches, it's all set in stone. So let's talk about it. Before we get into Raw reactions, let's talk about this. So, WrestleMania Saturday, we have Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. A match that was made on Raw that we're going to get into in Raw reactions. The Usos and LA Knight versus I Show Speed and The Vision. 6-man tag. I figured that match was coming. We'll talk more about that in Raw reactions. Then we have the women's Fatal 4-Way tag team title match. Becky and AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. Seth Rollins and Gunther. Liv Morgan and Stephanie for the women's world title. And then the main event will be Cody and Randy for the world title. And then Pat McAfee. He's in the graphic, bro. They actually put Pat McAfee in the graphic. So he's actually going to be at ringside. If you didn't see my rant about Pat McAfee and all that, go check out my SmackDown reactions and NXT stand-in deliver reactions because I did them in one video. Make sure you go check that out. But yeah, my rant. If you want to see my rant about Pat McAfee, please go watch that video. But yeah, so he's in the freaking graphic, bro. But yes, Cody and Randy will main event night 1 of WrestleMania. You know what that means. You know what will main event night 2. Roman and Punk. Yeah, so that's Saturday. Now Sunday, it'll be as main event will be Roman and Punk for the world title. It'll be Finn Balor and Dominic. Raw reactions. We got some stuff to talk about. I'm so hyped. Rhea and Jade for the women's championship. Sami Zayn, Trick Williams for the U.S. title. The Intercontinental Championship ladder match that we also have to talk about because someone was added to that. We'll talk about that. Raw reactions. And then Brock Lesnar and Oba. Brock Lesnar and Oba will be on Sunday. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty balanced card, you know. But Brock and Oba will be on Sunday, you know, and then you had like Drew and Fatu on Saturday, so that's kind of right divided. You have, you know, Seth and Gunther on Saturday, Finn Balor, Dom Sunday. So, you know, I think it's pretty divided. 7 matches Saturday, 6 matches Sunday. Again, maybe one more match could still get added. We'll see. And, of course, we still have John Cena as the host, so you know we're going to have some segments in there too, right? So it's going to be good. Looking to be a good WrestleMania. Roman and Punk, though, will be the ultimate main event, the main event for Sunday, which I kind of figured. I figured that would happen. I mean, ever since Roman won the Rumble, I figured if they're going to do Roman and Punk, I think they need to have that main event. And I always figured they would. Again, Randy and Cody, at first, I thought, wait, maybe this could main event. When Randy first turned heel and did the whole thing turning on Cody Rhodes, that entire thing, that at that point, everyone was like, wait, this could main event night 2 because it was looking to be very good. But then as the weeks went on, it kind of like, man, and then Pat McAfee got introduced and all that, and you're like, no, yeah. There's no way. So, yeah, I always figured that Roman and Punk would ultimately main event. I thought Cody and Randy had a chance at first, but then as the story kept going, I'm like, no. It's going to be Roman and Punk, which it's Roman and Punk. I just thought this was the bigger build-up, the bigger story, and I'm like, just go, yeah, with Roman and Punk. Cody and Randy, main event night 1, Roman and Punk, main event night 2. Okay, so I'm down. It looks to be a very good WrestleMania, and I'm excited. All right, now let's get into Raw. Raw starts off with my man CM Punk, who goes off. CM Punk, pipe bomb 2.0. Like, CM Punk gives another pipe bomb, and he goes off. He's talking about Roman. He brought up The Rock. He brought up Vince. He brought up TKO. He brought up Pat McAfee. All chains were off, bro. And that's what I love about CM Punk. And anyone who knows CM Punk, who's been following CM Punk, you know the man is never afraid to say what's on his mind. The man will say what he wants when he wants, period. He don't give a crap. So, he's talking about Roman, right? Roman was not on Raw. Roman was not on this episode of Raw, so he was talking about that. And then he brought up The Rock because he said, like, at least The Rock is a famous Hollywood star, or I'm sorry, or a Hollywood superstar, or I'm sorry, was a famous Hollywood superstar. So just throwing shots at The Rock, making fun of his goosebumps thing, right? And talking about how he's on the board to TKO, and then he was saying how, like, like TKO sends you, Roman, to Jimmy Fallon because you're plastic, you're stale, you're like, right. It just, saying all, going after TKO, going after Roman Reigns. Then he says how Roman Reigns ate dog food for a weird old man, referring to Vince. And then he said how, he he didn't like that old man and he left and all that. And then the big kicker was then when he got into Pat McAfee, because that's when he really took the shot at TKO. And he basically said flat out, lower the ticket prices for WrestleMania. Because if those who've been here who've been just looking at it, WrestleMania ticket prices are insane. Like, TKO is so freaking money hungry. Like, the ticket prices for WrestleMania are insane, and that's been a big complaint for months. That was a big complaint even last year. Like, it's been a lot of complaints, and CM Punk basically said, because he brought up how Pat McAfee, he mentioned something about ticket prices being low on SmackDown during his little rant. And then CM Punk's like, you want to talk about ticket prices? How about you call your agent that got you into this business and tell him to lower the ticket prices? Basically just taking a shot right at TKO and just saying flat out, lower the ticket prices. And then he was making fun of Pat McAfee, and he was saying, like you got a receipt coming your way. So he's saying Pat McAfee's got a receipt coming his way. So just really fun segment. Whenever CM Punk goes off like that, it's always entertaining. So a great segment from CM Punk, and it gets me thinking, like, because, like, was this TKO's plan all along? Like, with this whole Pat McAfee thing, did they do it because they know it was going to piss us off? And because at the end of the day, we say that, like, this is talked about a lot. Good rep, bad rep, it doesn't matter. It's rep, right? Whether you love it, you hate it, you're talking about it, and that's all that matters. So is that TKO's plan? TKO's plan, like, they're going to give us Pat McAfee, knowing that we're going to hate it, but it doesn't matter because we're still going to talk about it. Like, is that TKO's motive here, or are they still swerving us with something else? Are they playing us? Even with the CM Punk promo, was this like? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's WWE, and but hey, I'm just happy CM Punk said that. If that was planned or not, I don't care. It was still a fun segment to watch. And hopefully TKO listens to what CM Punk says and actually lowers the freaking ticket prices. But yeah, just really good segment. That was a lot of fun to watch. Now let's get into I Show Speed, right? Because this match was added at WrestleMania, as I said earlier. I Show Speed, cursed by Danhausen. He cost the Usos the tag titles. He hit LA Knight with brass knuckles. Then LA Knight attacked Speed when he was streaming. So I Show Speed is trying to, he wants Danhausen to uncurse him. Danhausen's not going to uncurse him. And so Austin Theory goes one-on-one with, because the Vision drags Speed out to ringside with him. Austin Theory defeats LA Knight in a one-on-one match because Speed interfered, Logan Paul pushes Speed into LA Knight, so LA Knight thinks Speed hit him, and Speed's like, no, 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 no. He's trying to run away. Then the Usos music hits, and they're back to Jey Uso's music. I'm sorry, I just have to say this. The Usos are so confusing because they never keep the freaking theme song. They brought back their OG theme for one time. Then they went back to Jey Uso's theme. Then they had the new theme last week. The Usos had a new theme. Granted, a lot of people didn't really like it, but now we're just back to Jey Uso's theme. Like, what? We can never decide. The Usos can never decide what theme they want. it just keeps going back to Jey Uso's theme. I don't get it, but whatever. That's not the point. The Usos come out. They trap ISO Speed. ISO Speed actually jumps over LA Knight. He does like a hop, and then it causes a distraction. Austin Theory wins in the end with a roll up, and then LA Knight and the Usos were going to attack Speed. Logan Paul saved him, and then LA Knight challenged them to a match, and Adam Pearce made it official. 6-man tag at WrestleMania. That's going to be very interesting. The other thing that's going to be interesting is we're getting the freaking Demon. The Demon Finn Balor. Finn Balor was supposed to have a one-on-one match with JD McDonough. Dominic Mysterio attacked him before the match. It was just a 2-on-1 assault. They just beat him up. The match didn't even happen. Whatever. Judgment Day just beat him up. And then Finn Balor had a little promo back, like a little promo package, and he talked about how there's a side of him that, is back. A side Dominic's never faced before. Referring to and then they give a little dun, dun, at the end. That Finn Balor is bringing back the Demon at WrestleMania. Yes! I was hoping this would happen. I figured it would because I feel like it was personal enough to where they could have brought back the Demon. But, I was never really sure. But then when it was revealed, I'm like, thank you. Because it's time that we make the Demon good again. Because the Demon, the past 2 times we've seen the Demon, he lost to Roman Reigns and to Edge. And people are not happy about that. So here's the chance for the Demon to regain the power and stuff. So Finn Balor's definitely going to win this match now that he's the Demon. Because if they make the Demon lose again, that's freaking stupid. So, but Finn Balor's bringing back the Demon, and he's definitely going to win this match now. But I'm so freaking happy. The Demon is back. Yes. And this could also continue the feud too, because then we can, like, Dom can then want a rematch, but against normal Finn, not the Demon. So it can continue the feud. So I'm very happy to bring back the Demon for WrestleMania. It's going to be good. And then speaking of because then Dom and JD were responding to that, and Dom, is just stupid. He's like, what do you think Finn's talking about? Another side of him. What is he talking about? And JD's just like, don't worry about it. It's the Demon, bro. Come on. But, they're acting dumb. And then it's like, whatever. They leave. Liv Morgan talks to Roxanne Perez backstage because Roxanne Perez returned last week and they attacked Stephanie. Liv was saying to Roxanne, because Finn Balor was the one who brought Roxanne in. So Liv Morgan was saying, I know Finn brought you in, but Finn turned his back on us. So, we're done with Finn. And then before Roxanne could even respond, Stephanie attacks them both from behind. Stephanie throws Liv Morgan into the TV, smashes the TV. She smashes Liv Morgan's face right on the TV. Crazy. Stephanie even had a little promo package a little earlier in the show too, before this. Again, just building up for the WrestleMania match, which I'm very excited for. Stephanie and Liv has been good build up, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen at WrestleMania. Bayley defeated Lash Legend in a one-on-one match thanks to the help of Lyra Valkyria. Charlotte and Alexa were out there. They all got involved. Bayley ends up winning in the end. AJ and Becky had a little backstage thing because Michael Cole was going to interview AJ Lee. And then, Becky gets involved. She takes over the interview. They start going, just yapping. And AJ says how, she's proud of Becky Lynch for all she's done. But she said, the doors that you walk through and so all that, I knocked them down for you. You're right. I quit. But they never stopped calling. They never stopped cheering for me. They always hoped that I would come back. So, and she's like, they're going to keep doing it in the next 10 years, I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler, all that, right? And then she ends with the little jab and says, how when you go home and you tuck your daughter in, when you tuck your daughter in for bed, you ask her who her favorite wrestler is. She's not going to say Becky Lynch. She's going to say AJ Lee. So just that shot at Becky Lynch again. making it very personal as if it wasn't already personal. But yeah. So very good. Their match is going to be good at WrestleMania. But here's my problem. It needs a stipulation. Like I love Becky and AJ. The story has been great, and I'm so all this. It's good, and they're gonna have a good match at WrestleMania. But I think it needs a stipulation. Like we've seen this dance between Becky and AJ so many times. But Becky and AJ had a normal match at Elimination Chamber. Now it's time. Make it a street fight. Make it if AJ Lee loses, she has to quit again or she has to leave WWE for good. Or I don't know, make it interesting, right? Or make it even like Becky has to leave and then maybe she'll win and take the title back. I don't know. Make it Becky has to leave, AJ has to leave if she loses. Hair versus hair. No, well, no, I don't know about that. But make it interesting. More interesting because it is interesting. Make it more interesting. This feud is so personal; it needs a stipulation because we've already seen them go at it normal. Make it a stipulation. But again, that's just me. We have one more Raw, so hopefully we'll see it then. Then Seth Rollins comes out. Seth Rollins and Gunther, right? So next, Seth Rollins comes out. He's all fired up. They're singing his song. He's like, "I'm back." And then he talks about Gunther, and he's like, me and Gunther, it's not personal between us. So I'm trying to understand why he did what he did. And then he said, like, the only thing I can think of is that he came up with some kind of deal with Paul Heyman. And then, he's talking. Gunther attacks Seth from behind, but Seth ends up fighting back. Gunther gets the upper hand when he cheap shot Seth Rollins with a big boot, and then the officials get him out of there. Seth Rollins was trying to chase him, though. He was all pissed off. So very heated between these two. And again, I think it's going to be a good match. But what was interesting was what happened after, because Gunther then meets Paul Heyman backstage, and Paul's like, "I don't know why you did what you did, but like, thank you." He's like, "I owe you a big thank you." And Gunther's, saying how he like shakes his hand and he's like, "You owe me more than just a big thank you," and then walks off. Here we go. Gunther, what do you mean? What do you want? Right. What does Gunther want from Paul Heyman? Does he want a title shot and Paul Heyman can help him? Does this have to do with maybe Brock Lesnar? Like Gunther wants a match with Brock Lesnar? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Like, why would Gunther, like, what does Gunther want from Paul Heyman, right? Here's the favor. I owe you a favor. This whole thing again. Yeah, but right. And even Corey Graves said afterwards, like, well, why did he attack Seth? Because he still didn't give a reason for why he attacked Seth. Like, there was no confirmed reason why Gunther attacked Seth Rollins. So, and even Corey Graves said afterwards, like, so if Paul Heyman didn't ask him to do it, then why is he doing it? What is Gunther up to here? Right. So, we'll see. We got one more week. We'll see what happens. But again, ultimately, even though this match may not make sense storyline wise, because all that, I'm still excited for it because it's going to be a good match. All right. Penta, Javon Evans, and Dragon Lee defeated Los Americanos in a 6-man tag. And then afterward, out comes Rey Mysterio. And he says how he's going to be the 6th man in the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Oh, so the ladder match just got even bigger. Rey Mysterio is added, which is very good because I thought he was going to miss WrestleMania because of injury, because he missed WrestleMania last year due to injury. But he's going to be there, and he's going to be in the ladder match. That's very cool. My question, though, is like, was this just kind of thrown in there because we didn't know how long Rey was going to be injured for? Because again, we all said Rey was rumored to supposed to go up against Gunther at WrestleMania, and Gunther would like retire him, all that. But Rey got injured. So was this the backup plan because like Rey wasn't going to, because Rey is cleared, he's going to be at WrestleMania, but they didn't think he'd be clear in time, so they cut off the Gunther idea? Was it like he would be cleared like right before WrestleMania and they wouldn't have time for storyline build up with Gunther? Like, I don't know. Or was the plan for Gunther never actually going to happen? I don't know. My guess is that they were going to do Gunther and Ray, but because of Ray's injury, they just didn't have the. They weren't sure if he was going to be cleared in time, and even if he was, which he is, it's not enough time to build up a story between them. So I guess they gave this as a backup plan, which again is chill. I'm just happy that Ray's at WrestleMania in general. So I'm chill with it. And he's in there with Dragon Lee and Penta, and so it's right. It's gonna be good. All right, let's see, and then let's talk about two more things. One, Jade Cargill and Io Sky went up against BFAB. Was it? Yeah, Io Sky went up against BFAB. Io Sky wins the match, but then Jade Cargill attacks or no, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Rhea and Io in a tag match against Michin and BFAB. Io is the one who pinned BFAB in the end. I'm sorry, my brain. It was a tag match. Then Jade attacks Io from behind. The numbers game. BFAB and Michin are holding Rhea in the corner. And then what does Jade do? Jade wails on Io Sky with a kendo stick and then drops her with a jaded as Rhea Ripley has to watch her best friend get beaten the crap out of. So that was cool. That was good build up right there. Because again, the Rhea and Jade build up has been kind of meh, but that was cool. That was good. I like what they did there. Just getting, Rhea having to watch her best friend get attacked by Jade and stuff. That was good build up, I think. So that was good. I enjoyed that. For build up wise. Now let's talk about the end. What closed the show? And that's Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. Contract signing between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. And who was out there? Triple H. We saw Triple H get involved last week between these two. Now, him and Adam Pearce are going to officiate this contract signing. I like that they did this because it's showing how big the match is. Because all right, this match is so big that Triple H has to get involved. Like right, so I really like what they're like. Brock and Oba, honestly, like and this is going around. Everyone saying this. Brock and Oba is big enough to where it could main event. Like honestly, I think a lot of people would prefer if Brock and Oba main evented night one of WrestleMania. Like because that's just how big it is. Like Brock and Oba, I think, has been the most anticipated match for WrestleMania. So honestly, it could main event night one. It could even main event night two. Honestly, like the buildup has been great, and I just think so many people are excited for this match that it could main event. It's not going to. It's on Sunday. It'll probably open the show on Sunday. That's my guess. Because if you're not gonna main event, opening the show, I think, is like the next best option. So they'll probably open the show on Sunday, but I just love this build up, and it's big enough to where they could have had it main event. That's how big it is. But yeah, Triple H comes out, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar show up. Oba Femi shows up, and they're all Oba Femi's walking down to the ring. Brock Lesnar's waiting. Oba gets up on the ring apron. Brock goes immediately after him. They didn't sign no contract. Brock immediately goes after Oba. They start beating the crap out of each other. Security comes out. Oba slams Brock through the table, the contract signing table, but they're still going at it. Security's holding them back. Brock's fighting. Oh, he jumps on him, fights back. Oba gets back and fights on him. They were even throwing one of the chairs they sit in. They were throwing chairs at each other. And then that was it. Raw went off the air. So Oba and Brock, man, just beating the crap out of each other. And we got one more week. We got next week, so we'll see what happens next week between these two. But oh god, Brock and Oba, I am so hyped for this match. And please, WWE, I love Brock Lesnar, but Oba Femi needs to win this match. And if Oba Femi doesn't win this match, I'm afraid for what's going to happen. No, in all seriousness, Oba Femi needs to win this match. Period. But that was it. Again, a good episode of Raw. Again, I wish Roman was there, but we know he's going to be there next week because that's the last Raw before Mania. I thank you guys for watching my Raw reactions and talking about the WrestleMania card. It is confirmed. I'm so hyped. Road to WrestleMania. We are almost there, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe for more, and Cmoney is out.